Most people over 60 assume hip pain means arthritis, bones grinding, cartilage wearing out, the slow march of time. But I want you to hear something different today. Because in my 25 years working with older adults, I've learned that the real story behind hip pain is rarely written in the bones. It's written in the muscles, in the small chemical messengers flowing through your blood, and in the quiet cellular whispers that tell you something deeper is out of balance. If you wake stiff, if standing up feels slower than it used to, if walking long distances leaves a dull ache on one side, it's not weakness, it's communication. Your body is asking for help. Now, this isn't medical advice. Always discuss new routines with your healthcare provider. But research from Harvard Medical School and the Journal of Gerontology shows that nearly 7 in 10 seniors with hip pain don't have arthritis at all. They're dealing with something far more reversible, 3 hidden mechanisms that quietly erode strength and stability. And that's what this video is really about. The 3 hidden causes of hip pain no one talks about, and how to restore the strength that age tried to take away. Because when your hips move freely again, you don't just regain comfort. You regain confidence. You stand taller. You walk farther. You show up stronger for the people who matter most. And in a moment, I'll tell you about Frank, a 68-year-old retired carpenter who thought he was headed for hip replacement surgery, until one 3-minute change rewired his entire body. What if your hip pain isn't really about your bones at all? Inside every healthy joint is a small orchestra of muscles, tendons, and connective tissue that work together to stabilize your movement. But after 60, one section of that orchestra, the gluteus medius, begins to fall silent. This small muscle sits high on the outer hip. It's responsible for one simple but vital task: keeping your pelvis level when you stand or walk. When it weakens, your hips begin to tilt ever so slightly. That tilt increases pressure inside the hip socket by up to 45%, according to Clinical Biomechanics, 2021. And over months or years, that uneven pressure irritates the cartilage and nearby tendons, creating pain that feels like arthritis, even when it isn't. Now, the second piece of the puzzle hides deeper. As we age, low-grade inflammation, driven by high cortisol and a slower metabolism, floods the joint capsule. Scientists call it the cytokine cascade. In one Journal of Gerontology 2020 study, seniors with higher IL-6 and TNF-alpha levels reported double the hip pain intensity compared to those with lower inflammation markers. It's not in your head, it's in your blood chemistry. And finally, there's the quiet structural change, collagen decline. After 60, your body's collagen turnover can drop by nearly 30%, shown in a 2019 Harvard study on connective tissue aging. When collagen weakens, tendons become less elastic, and every step feels like sandpaper instead of silk. So, when pain shows up, it's not your body breaking down. It's your biology sending a signal: strengthen, nourish, restore. And that's where Frank's story begins. Because once he learned how to switch this silent muscle back on, his hips stopped aching within weeks. I'll show you exactly what he did, and the 3 hidden causes that hold most seniors back, right after this. When I first met Frank, he walked like so many men his age, strong upper body, cautious lower half. He told me, "Doc, it's just arthritis. My father had it. It runs in the family." But after one quick test, I knew that wasn't true, because what looked like arthritis was actually the first of 3 reversible causes of hip pain. 1. The silent muscle that shuts down. Balance. Frank's pain wasn't in his bones. It was in his stabilizers. The gluteus medius, a deep hip muscle that keeps your pelvis level when you walk, had gone nearly dormant. After 60, this muscle often loses up to 40% of its strength if not retrained. When that happens, every step pulls the joint slightly off-center, grinding the edges like a door hinge that's lost its oil. You can test it yourself. Stand on one leg for 30 seconds. If your pelvis dips or your hip aches, that's the signal. Your stabilizers have gone offline. The fix isn't heavy weights, it's micro-activation. Small, precise movements that retrain your brain to muscle connection. Frank started with 1 minute every morning, lying on his side, tightening the outer hip gently as if pushing against invisible resistance. Within 2 weeks, he told me, "Doc, it's strange. I don't brace my hands on the chair anymore. But here's what most people miss. Strengthening alone won't help if inflammation keeps turning those signals off." 2. Inflammation that hijacks the nerves. Imagine your hip joint like a switchboard. Every nerve, every tendon, every blood vessel communicates to keep balance. But when the body's fire alarms, inflammation molecules called cytokines, stay active, that signal gets scrambled. In 2020, the Journal of Gerontology reported that seniors with higher IL-6 levels had double the joint pain, even when imaging looked normal. That's the difference between damage and sensitivity. The pain isn't just in the structure, it's in the chemistry. For Frank, his diet was quietly feeding that inflammation. White bread in the morning, late-night snacks, dehydration. So we started with something deceptively simple, a glass of water before breakfast. Hydration lowers cortisol spikes and dilutes inflammatory compounds. Then, we replaced refined carbs with omega-3 rich foods, salmon, chia seeds, walnuts. He said, "I didn't think water and nuts could change pain." 3 weeks later, he laughed. Turns out, my hips disagree. But inflammation has a partner in crime. Even with good circulation, your body can't repair what it can't rebuild. 3. Collagen decline, the hidden weak link. Think of collagen as the scaffolding of your joints. It gives your tendons stretch, your cartilage bounce. After 60, production drops sharply, especially in men with lower testosterone and women post-menopause. When collagen runs low, tendons stiffen. That stiffness pulls on the hip capsule, creating that deep pinching seniors mistake for bone friction. Harvard researchers found collagen turnover declines 30% after age 60. But it's not irreversible. The stimulus for new collagen is surprisingly simple: resistance and vitamin C, light strength training, a squeeze band, or even standing leg lifts trigger fibroblasts, your collagen-making cells, to wake up. Add a small source of vitamin C, like half an orange or red bell pepper, within an hour afterward, and you're giving those cells the raw materials they crave. Frank did exactly that. He paired his morning activation with half a cup of bone broth and a walk in the garden. Within 6 weeks, his gait changed. He wasn't guarding his steps anymore. His wife told me, "He doesn't look cautious when he walks. He looks proud again." Pain is often the body's most honest teacher. It's not punishing you. It's guiding you back to balance. Now that you know why the pain began, the next step is how to reverse it, safely, naturally, and in just a few minutes a day. And in a moment, I'll share with you the daily 3-minute rebuild protocol. The same one Frank still uses every morning to keep his hips strong, flexible, and pain-free. The truth about healing after 60 is this: it doesn't take hours in a gym. It takes rhythm. Your body runs on cycles: hormonal, neural, metabolic. When you match your actions to those rhythms, the body starts cooperating again. That's what I taught Frank to do. I call it the daily 3-minute rebuild protocol. 3 short actions that retrain your muscles, calm inflammation, and wake your collagen factories back up. Step 1, the morning switch on, 1 minute. Before coffee, before breakfast, stand beside a chair for support. Gently lift one leg outward and hold for 2 seconds, then lower. Do 10 slow lifts each side. This reactivates your gluteus medius, the silent stabilizer that controls your balance. Within days, many patients tell me they feel lighter stepping out of bed. That's not magic. It's your nervous system rewiring. Step 2. The anti-inflammation primer, 1 minute. After your movement, drink a large glass of water with a pinch of sea salt or electrolyte powder. It sounds simple, but hydration regulates cortisol and flushes inflammatory molecules. A 2021 European Journal of Nutrition review found proper hydration lowers inflammatory markers by up to 25% in older adults. Think of it as rinsing your joints from the inside out. Step 3, the collagen trigger, 1 minute. Before breakfast, consume something rich in glycine or vitamin C, bone broth, half an orange, or even warm lemon water with collagen powder. You're not feeding muscles, you're sending raw materials to your repair crew. Frank said it best. It's the smallest breakfast I've ever had that made the biggest difference. Do these 3 minutes each morning consistently, and your body starts to remember what freedom feels like. It's not a workout, it's a reset button, because your hips don't just want to move, they want to trust you again. And in just a moment, I'll tell you why this isn't only about pain relief, but about legacy. The quiet promise your body makes to those who still count on you. When I last saw Frank, he wasn't talking about pain anymore. He was talking about mornings, the way sunlight felt on his back when he stepped into the garden, the sound of gravel under his shoes, the way his stride sounded normal again. That's when I realized something. Healing isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming rhythm, the same rhythm that carried you through decades of work, laughter, and long walks can still carry you today. Pain only asks one question: will you listen? Because behind every ache is a part of you that still remembers how to move. Research tells us the body may lose muscle and collagen with age, but it never loses the ability to adapt. In clinical studies, men and women in their 70s regained up to 30% of lost strength within 8 weeks simply by reactivating dormant muscles. It's not the years that decide your future. It's the small choices made each morning. 1 glass of water, 1 gentle lift, 1 quiet moment of care. So, here's my reflection for you. When you move tomorrow morning, don't think of it as therapy. Think of it as a conversation with your body, a reminder that you're still capable, still present, still needed. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who's been hiding their pain behind a quiet smile. Because every time one of us stands taller, it gives someone else permission to hope again. And if you'd like to keep learning how to restore strength, clarity, and independence after 60, join our community here at Healthy Aging Hub. Subscribe, and tomorrow morning, begin again.